Okay. Pretty good.
Now, all right. This is the Donna's mama. Oh, that's just fine.
Yeah.
This is the Library Advisory Board meeting for the Copperfield Library. October 16th. Coming meeting to order at 5:31. Cynthia Combs, Lou, Will Brown is excused. Angelica Johnson, Rick, Booker, here. Missy Jones is here. Jason Coker is here. All right, following, we discuss, consider, and or decided on this meeting. First up is approval of minutes. Listen, anything to say about that?
About the minutes? Yeah, I did send them out.
You did, yeah.
Okay.
Does anyone have any additions? Questions about the minutes? All right. Minutes approved as received. And did we receive any correspondence or communications?
No.
Okay. Next is called for public. No public.
Okay, well, hopefully this is the last time this is on the agenda. But our council meeting is tonight at 7, and Donna is going to say gracious to speak for 3 minutes, at least up to 3 minutes, on the subject. We'll stand up when we get to on the agenda again. Donna, I'll be there at the probably 10 of 7 tomorrow.
Okay.
So we can get everything.
So we can send you.
Yeah, and I think Allison actually has to sign it too. But I put together just a really short, concise 6-slide PowerPoint, just to kind of, I'm not like, we're not going back to the beginning again. They all know what we wanted to do and why we wanted to do it, but I'm going to give them little reminders. And I'm also going to, one slide is talking about all kinds of areas that we've worked to the movie, so that kind of you see that this is, fits in with our mission, so we're working on, like geographic areas that we're opening up in annex, reaching those faraway places, stuff like the technology barriers, the hotspot program, stuff like that, just to show them this one will fall under financial barriers. And then I have some testimonial quotes that people have given me in support of this struggle, so just be excited of that, and just kind of remind them that how we do and what we do.
Well, and many of those barriers that we discuss also tie into directly to financial, right?
Right.
So
Oh,
if
yeah.
somebody's getting a hotspot, it's because they
Yeah.
are able to afford to have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So that all dovetails into that very people
Yeah.
our friends and neighbors is active.
Yeah.
Very good also.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, I love that.
And there's also sort of raising the need for the responsibilities.
Well, in terms of people still have to pay for their lost bills. That won't change.
Okay.
The whole.
We have to make that.
Yeah.
To make that, I mean, that's good.
Yeah. Actually, and so the county sent over just a graph. They tried to help me with some statistics. They couldn't do everything that I wanted them to do, but there's one that just shows over the course of a couple of years a graph that shows overdues, and during this time period, it stayed flat. It didn't like everyone's abusing it and then it's become like so I think that was yeah. The one thing I didn't get was I wanted to know how many lost books were brought back during that time period, and it's using it. So, I know that.
That's a hard one to come up with. I mean, I was kind of suggesting that we try to come up with a financial on that, but that's really hard. It's just a subset.
Yeah, it's not, and we have a great, the county has great systems out there, and she just can better. To get to that report.
But you do have the financial impact of the farm implication,
Mhm.
about $200 a month.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
the,
yeah.
rather, which is devastating for the city.
But they, even at the last 6 months ago, 8 months ago, they didn't even care about that, though. So it really,
So
they keep
that's
the principle.
Nice to have it in pocket.
Oh, sure, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, but I mean, the piece about,
that's really what we're really trying
but
to.
that piece about personal responsibility, it's not as if, I mean, they're still, if they return something, unfortunately.
Yeah,
And I think the other thing was that was the past.
oh, yeah.
So I mean, you know, maybe that could be like hand in hand, say, well, you know, the fiscal,
Right.
loss.
We've made it up.
We've made it up.
Yeah,
So just,
yeah,
so they
I
have
will.
it in their head.
Yeah.
I think that would be important.
Yeah, and honestly, I think during this time period, I know Allison was spoken with some of the customers, and I mean, not to make any predictions, so it seems like everyone's. But we still want to give them, the public what we.
Because this is just after the 6 month period.
Yeah, so now they will vote, this will be a vote to permanently amend this resolution. And then it's off the books.
Right. And the other levers in the county were
The little rural branches never had farms. Service during COVID got rid of their farms, and I had this all last time.
Right, yeah, like, yeah. But they don't say, right?
Yeah, probably not. And just remind them that we're here, we're doing our stuff, and really like, just justice that we, everybody will do, and we move on.
That's right, that's right.
We'll make it, they know that, so yeah, and I'll send out an email and let everyone know how it went. We're right at the beginning, which was not the last time. I waited till about 9 o'clock to present. So we're right at the beginning.
Is public speaking today available?
Yeah, so what will happen is Donna will sign up to call to speak on that agenda item, so she'll speak before I present. Are you thinking of going? Yeah?
Where is it?
It's at Tuberville, by the transfer station, where you take the trash. Take that left. It's like a double wide.
Gotcha.
But yeah, and anyone who wants to joke just in solidarity, have to, but you're more than welcome.
Thank you. Okay. Is that all?
That's it.
Business. Do we have new business?
So I have, Cindy wanted me to write up some stuff for the citizen liaison council meeting for the county. So I just, see this is just a good idea to do anytime. Then you actually have it right and go back to and look at. But I guess first the statistics are on their own sheet. And we're doing okay. Seems like a slower, especially September, it seems a little quieter. I'm not quite sure what that was about, but honestly, for the last week was October just took off, so I'm good. And yeah, nothing too totally out of the ordinary. it when you're doing what?
Your culture passes are going on.
Yeah, culture passes, 28 in 2 months, you know, it was summer, I think that's gonna pick up, if you go outside again in Tucson and Phoenix. How's Steve? Yeah,
Tools. Well, tools are taking off.
You know what, I'm supposed to read that. There's something with that, yeah, that's something's not quite right there, I have to look at that. The tools are, I don't think it's like that, but, we're doing good, and we've got a donation of tools coming from somebody who, passed away and all this stuff, so, I'm actually looking, I asked the friends if, which is, to give us funds to purchase more shelving for that, because we want to expand.
What's that over there?
Yeah, and
Do you have like a sheet over here?
yeah, so it's online, but yeah, there's a booklet that I,
Oh, there it is.
yeah. But it's a picture of the tool, it's kind of divided
I
like,
hold
what?
the tool in my but then I but it's there.
But it's both, but people can browse it here and get an idea of what we have, and then.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Um,
Can I make a comment?
Yes.
Regarding the internet hotspots?
yes,
You know, there is that federal program that will give people up to $35 a
Yes.
month. When I just saw that and we were talking about it before, I thought it might not be a bad idea to print something up and to put it inside the box of the hotspot.
that's a great
Say,
idea. Yeah, that's,
you know, that it is such a simple process to apply for that. And they actually give the money right to Dartmouth. You don't get it, but it goes right to the company where you have to.
yeah,
So,
Yeah.
might really then at least have some people go for that.
right.
Because I don't think a lot of people know about that. I didn't know that somebody did.
That's always the hardest thing, is there's so many programs out there, and it's hard to,
Because
even our library programs, it's hard to tell everyone everything, it's
Right.
like, you know.
But I just thought maybe just that you.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea, absolutely.
What is your best communication?
I think the newsletter works really well, that is,
Probably the best.
yeah, because it's ongoing, and like, so we can, it's not all at once type thing,
Yeah.
it's not like, hey, look at our webpage, and it's just, there's so
You have
much
to
stuff
remember
in
to
it.
go look too.
Yeah, so this one, if you're reading it every week, you are seeing like new things, new services, then we highlight stuff, you know, like those programs that we have up to. But yeah, I think that's our, you know, if you're staying in touch and reading them, and we do have really, at least the open, you know, we got the statistics for the newsletters and the open people that actually open the email.
Yeah.
I don't know if they read it, but they open it.
Yeah, once you-
But we have about 250 people opening it. I mean, it gets up to
That's
over 500. So
But that's good.
yeah, I was at the library conference, and someone was saying like if your open rate is even like 20%, you're doing good. So yeah,
50.
yeah. Yeah, I think that is our best, because, you know, even if you put out flyers and stuff like that, you can't, you know, we don't have room to put a flyer out all at once, like, so, like, we'll highlight something, and then we'll put it out, and people will take it, and,
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, word of mouth is probably our second, you know, if we can get people talking about it.
and on the newsletter, I always like that you highlight some kind of book.
Oh,
Like either it's
oh,
like,
yeah,
Native American month
Yeah.
or this and that, then to give those books and always highlight at least 2 or 3
yeah.
of those. I really like that.
Yeah, I think that, especially with like new stuff, because that's the other thing, it's hard to tell like what's new, and you know, so like, yeah, I like knowing that. It's, I think it's important to. Any other questions or comments about the statistics? Oh, Marion stopped during the Movers and Shakers story time the other Friday.
by energetic.
Yeah. So
They
we,
didn't take it.
They were moving and
shaking.
shaking, they absolutely were.
They're
It's pretty
great.
awesome.
So that's a combination between Gretchen, who works with us, and then Sonia Rita, who does the dance from up here. She comes in every Friday morning, and so they together, Gretchen and her come up with like, pick out these books. And Gretchen will play the ukulele, and she sings, and then they get the kids to sing, and then Sonia gets them moving, and
Greg was like, well, it's really interesting. They told me to move apart for different roles.
Oh, yeah. I think that's great. She's awesome with the kids. She just, you can tell she comes in beaming, like, likes to do this.
I have one other thing about the program.
Yeah.
You have 1,220 people live in the library for programs. The very bottom, the blue programs.
Yeah. So this, wow. We had a couple big ones. We had, we didn't count for that. But all the pie in the sky we had in September, the house, so yeah.
Yeah, the cumulative number, not unique.
Not
No,
unique,
I know, but
yeah.
I didn't know if that was for the programs that were here, but it's for everything.
Yeah.
Also for the stuff that you do with the
Yeah. Anything that, even if we go to the fun, I can do outreach, like with the solar stuff, like, how many classes we do that would be, how many people attended that.
I see, because it's a lot.
It is.
120.
It adds up. I'm trying to think, we had a couple other big things. Oh, that July was summer reading, and that really boosted things. Yeah.
Great, that's great.
And look at our card holders are inching up, and we want to get our goals to get to, and these are active card holders because the system purges. If you haven't used your card in 3 years, the system purges. Good. So that it's actually a better snapshot at that people actually are using these. So like and obviously there's people that live outside of the city that have but if our population is 5,000, we want to get to 5,000 people. I know, we're getting there.
That's great. 124 new clients.
Yes, people are moving here and getting younger.
First thing I would do when I was somewhere. That's right.
You're not the only one. I have people coming all the time. I just moved here. I got my library card. I want to be official. That's awesome. It's fantastic.
Once a library holder.
Yeah.
And again, we still loan out more into library loans.
Yep. Yep.
So is that like a lot of historical?
Put these in your library now?
Yeah, that everyone said.
Anything. DVDs.
Okay, well, it also brings back the,
I admitted that we're up to the top of the alphabet. Benson's above us. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
And then the one last question I have, it says items added, 937.
Yes.
The numbers don't add up to that.
I bet you that's an old number from, because I use the same thing as, that's where good catch. I'll change that. The holds? Everything. You can
Same
come.
thing, like, it's like spread out across the next.
Yeah, absolutely. We get, DVDs, books. You can look at our whole shelf behind the counter, and it's a mix. And same if you go up to the people that in my office, that's where we put everything out, like this other libraries, it's everything. Kids' books, you name it. It's one of the most exciting things to do in the morning. I have a volunteer that comes in and does it every morning. He's got, for the holds. But I always find it fascinating, like,
And
kind of
very
looking
good.
for, I think it's really cool. Okay, so staff, yes, staff in your little write-up here, I just want to talk about some of the things that we've been doing for staff development. I went to the Association of Rural and Small Libraries in Wichita, Kansas last month. And I presented with the Institute of Museum and Library Service people. They wanted me to share our library story. Reading those from articles that International Medal. And it was really, it was good. It was on the last day of the conference, so I just noticed it. So I had to do it now, but that wasn't that bad. But it was really great. I got a lot of ideas from that conference, and it's all small library people. They're wonderful. I think officially it could be 25,000 dollars, but most of the people I talked to, there's a lot of like, oh, it's you need somebody else, but I'm the only one at my library, you know. So that kind of like the small rural branches in Bridges County. And yeah, it's a great, you know, one, it's great to connect with other people.
Yes.
And be like, oh, these are our problems, because everyone shares the same problem. But also, it's really inspiring to see what other libraries are doing, and the workshops that we went to, are really, really great, and really just, you know, fun for small libraries.
So if you could put one thing out of the best idea that you've heard, what would you think?
Well, okay, my favorite thing was the Office of Intellectual Freedom was there.
Talking about the band.
Yeah. And they did a panel during lunch one day. So it was like, there was 900 people there, so it was all 900 people faculty there were talking about it. They spoke just so eloquently, and there was a woman, a lawyer that works in the office, and she was just incredible. She
Is
was,
it English?
I have to look up her
I
name.
guess you have like,
And she just spoke, you know, she was she was a prosecutor for most of her career, and then she somehow got involved with the Office of Intellectual Freedom, and she was badass. But she just is so passionate about protecting, you know, against censorship, and she was talking about these active cases that they had around the states, and she was confident that they were going to prevail. And that was really just, and just knowing that we had this system, it was just like, call us. You have a question, call us. You are worried about something, call us. And I talked to a few people who said they are so responsive. They said, I left a message and then called back within, you know, that day. So, yeah.
Do they work at all with the ACLU or the ACLU?
yes.
Do you know that name?
Yeah. So ALA partner with ACLU, and they're also partnering with the writers, right? America's done a lot of good statistical. This big that they've stopped, anyways, that they wasn't, which is prepared. So, yes, and in the past, when censorship cases have come up, they have either signed on to lawsuits or have voted. So, the last one that I put on was related to filters. The children's
Yeah, everyone, all of them do, yeah.
So,
Mhm.
but technically the adults.
Is that right?
Yeah. Just anything that children can access now,
Right.
because children.
Right, right.
But that's the ones.
I would say the other, was really interesting, like AI is just talking to the world, and there was
I'm so glad I was not. I've already unleashed on Jason about this.
Yeah.
I was like,
They were promoting the use of AI to make sure. Yeah, and like, I was telling Marianne, they were talking about coming up with a policy, and I think that, for an example, they put in a reconsideration policy, so it's in kind of a certain book. And, you know, so AI just grabs things from all over the internet and pieces it all together. But they were like, you know, so there was a 4-page policy in that regard. Yeah. That's my issue too, because if you want to put a policy together, you should really, you know, I guess, right, you can maybe at the starting point or something like that, but, you know, they were like, done, and I'm like, well, and I was like, are you gonna read it? Like, are you gonna, does it apply to your, you know, your particular community and library, and, you know?
you've already, you already.
Right.
What do about it? You know, I'm.
Yeah.
And it's providing it.
What are those 2 reasons?
I mean, the first is in the context.
Yeah.
You have to put your house policies. Yes. So that's it.
Yeah.
The second reason is that it perpetuates traditional policy. If you're trying to be equitable, you have to disrupt traditional library practices because those particular practices are inequitable and based on history.
Yeah, good brought up.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, and that's a great point.
So, I mean, yeah, you can't, I'm a big believer in disrupting. This year's inequity. And they're creating policies out of things that have already existed before and are very popular, and that's how AI is taking policy, then you're just redefining. Frankly, you're redefining racism, but there are other things. Yeah, all that.
Yeah. Well, because AI is not going to distinguish, like, oh, no one likes this anymore, this is the wrong thing to do. They're just pulling language from all.
Most likely, although there's enough research on it now that it probably, that would be a weak. Most likely, if you put in fine policy, they would come up with a fine policy, right, which is not equitable economically. So, like, that's why I have it. And then also, frankly, it's just an ethics issue. Librarians are information professionals, they're responsible for using ethics, information ethically, and these tools would be unethical. People's content is stolen.
Yeah.
Flat out stolen.
Yeah.
And like, some of it is you signed off acceptable use policies or terms of content that say, yeah, you can use my content however you want. But some of it is just, I mean, the authors whose work have been pirated. Like, the big 5 publisher authors' works that have been pirated. Neil Gaiman, Stephen King, and it's like, so that's an ethics.
Not even the written art, but, you know,
Yeah, the art.
graphic art, or anything.
That's, yeah, and I have personal connections to that too, so I have a real issue.
Yeah.
And I try real hard because I can see uses for computerized ways of doing it. But creating art,
Yeah.
how do you
That's the fun stuff. AI is supposed to do all the things we didn't want to, and now it's doing all the things that
No.
are fun.
Yeah. So I
Well,
had a heart attack when you told me about the policy thing. I was like,
Well, and then someone brought up that, you know, well, and like when we did our reconsideration policy, I looked at Richards County that just did one, you know, like at least we're like, have them out and we're looking at it more, we're just not.
well, I mean, the other thing is, you let it just go. Like, down what it is.
What's that?
I said, if you need a reconsideration policy,
compromising. So
Yeah.
it's not just.
Well, like Marianne said, like,
Writing.
Yeah.
your community,
Yeah.
it's a bit of it, you know. And like you said, the historical records
Yeah.
that it's so pulling from that we don't want anymore.
Yeah.
Or they're not good to begin with.
I mean, there is, they want to like pretend that they were great bastions of civic democracy. They're not segregated. And I'm gonna leave it alone. We can talk about Dewey too.
Well, I was gonna bring that up, and I was like, that's really not, but yes. There's some problems in that as well. But yeah, so that it was really, it was good. It was all important topics that are really relevant, which I think we all got that, even if it's stuff that we didn't agree with.
And you make connections also with others.
Yeah,
It's always the
yeah, yeah. It is.
You don't feel so alone. Indifferent.
No, and amongst all those strangers, you never feel alone.
Right.
Because like it's like we're all in a similar boat. And I was there for Page Public Library, which is up in the Utah border in Arizona, one of the small library. So that's back to back. I was in the library, because they didn't have it over COVID. So it went from us to Page. So
Hey! Keeping it state. Love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And if you look up that small library and read Page's article, it's oh, I'm sorry. And so they're up near the yeah, and then the Navajo reservation. So there's a lot of indigenous staff and their patrons, and you'll just see wonderful, beautiful things. There's a beautiful library, and there's a wonderful picture. Yeah, so that was really cool. Allison's on her way to. Oh, I don't know. Did I mention this? That Raul Grijalva did nominate us again for the national medal. So we submitted all the paperwork, and we'll find out in the spring of 2024. But Grijalva was here for a staff meeting. He used the space for one of his staff meetings. Yeah, and he yeah. Well, I think he said I think he's very focused on that so he definitely is passionate. So Allison's going on Wednesday to the Arizona Library Association conference. Not in Tuscaloosa, but it's up north of Phoenix. So she's really excited about that. So that's again a really good, just because it's all Arizona libraries. It'll be even with the bigger libraries there. And then Gretchen went to, she did a master work in Tucson about story time. And so yeah, we're just kind of, we're taking advantage. These are all, I got a scholarship for the Wichita conference for $1,000 from the Arizona State Library. So there's funds out there to that partnership. And like this workshop that was at Tucson Profession that was free with the state library, so really taking advantage.
Yeah, right. Why not?
Yeah. And next year's Association of World Small Libraries is going to be in Springfield, Massachusetts. I like this one for the short thing. I went to Denver and I went to the Wichita. Each thing I was like an hour. It's easy. As soon as you get up in the sky, you're like, okay, we're to something. Okay, so that's my staff update.
And then grants.
Grants. So this is a new, this is part of that, it's a University of Arizona Rural Health Grant, and these were, this is not a new thing, but libraries have these tough topics. And we just wanted to make sure that we had resources available on all these things that we don't really want to talk about, and no one wants to talk about, but also make it easy for people to grab one of these and just know where to look.
So this is specifically for our numbers, those
Yeah.
are the numbers?
Yeah, they're going to be similar. Some of our numbers are shorter than other libraries, but yeah, this is specific for here.
Okay.
So with part of this grant, and so I thought the $4,000 grant, I spent about $1,000 on books that are current and on all these topics, and yeah, it's a I think it's a really important thing. People that
So let us be like the best.
yeah. Yeah.
But since these are newer purchases, there would be, I would imagine, a resource for somebody if they were contemplating suicide, like resource outreach numbers and whatnot.
Good idea. I thought about putting, and I forgot, putting a bookmark in each of these books, and I can still do that with local resource numbers.
And I don't know that it needs to be all of them, but
Well-
certainly domestic violence,
Yeah.
suicide, things that
Yeah.
that are
The things that
life threatening.
Yeah,
I mean, they're all
or
like
like
that,
really
but-
high.
What's that?
Or really high.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. That's
That's just getting lower.
this is good. Anytime we can make the library better, I love it.
Yeah.
I do.
I mean, our KDRP, they have those numbers every day.
They announce them?
Yep, when somebody has a show, they have the domestic violence, suicide, all of those numbers, and they read them.
And then also this grant is we're gonna use it for our health and wellness caring kits that go to a lot of our homeless populations. Each winter in December, we have little bags full of hats and gloves and scarves. And we usually, we work with, the Bisbee Fiber Arts Guild makes these beautiful hats and scarves for vets. That's just such a wonderful tie-in that we have these local people making scarves and hats for people. And so we're going to use funds to buy the rest of this stuff to do those this December. And then we're going to do some more kind of fun things. I'm going to be meeting with someone from the Cooperative Extension about creating these birding backpacks. So just kind of getting people outside. Yeah, so it'll be like a small backpack with binoculars and, bird identification books. And the Cooperative Extension is making a list of all the local birding sites that people can go to and what birds to look out for. So it's for our library of things and just to get people out and moving.
To give away or to?
To check out.
To check out.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you'd be like, oh, I'm heading to Ramsey Canyon, check out the birding backpack.
Cool.
And I think we'll put in, a meeting with him this week, but maybe something for kids too, like a kid for like a
Yeah,
vacation.
right.
And we might even do like for each time gets checked out, like these little notebooks, like a little, like and then maybe think of maybe some other ideas of things to, because it's a health grant, but to get people out, so we have a pickleball and bocce ball, but maybe we'll do check out basketball or whatever.
I noticed we got fiber. So the families with kids have sheets to kids to go do certain things.
Like,
So,
it has like a picture of the bird on it, and then they can,
and so you might include something like that.
It's like in the national parks.
yeah,
Children, yeah. Where they can junior rangers or what.
yes.
Yeah, you can get a junior rangers thing. Even if they're not.
Oh, there you go.
They read a great book, and what she did is she traveled around all of the national, not all of them, but she so like the junior. That's how I know.
Jason, for those homeless kids,
Yeah,
Where do you hand those out?
so we have, do you know, Cochise Harm Reduction? The
Yeah.
nonprofit? Yeah,
Okay.
so she is a major organization, helps
Oh, good.
distribute them. So they go to where the people are. And then Allison goes up to Brook Park lunches, and I think we leave something behind there. So we leave extras with both Cochise Harm Reduction and Brook Park lunches, so that people can get them. And then we keep them here, so if someone knows someone or, you know, that they can just grab one. And you don't have to be homeless to take them. You know, it's all of our efforts that we need people. You need one hat and gloves, certainly take one. There's no criteria. But we've been doing that. This would be our 4th year. I think it's a good. I mean, there's hygiene stuff in there. I get toothpaste and toothbrush from Dr. Mom donates them. Dental floss, you know, if you get to switch out your toothbrush once a year. I mean,
Yeah, Tucson is doing mobile showers.
Yeah,
They're doing every day, they stop it.
it's actually like in a vehicle.
Yeah.
And that's part of one of our barriers too. It's just, you know, our hidden populations who we don't
Right.
see. It's like you don't see all the
You have to have an,
You do, yes. Should we work on that?
I don't know, do you
I-
have this coming in here, or is it?
We-
just for
okay, so-
outreach?
Well, here, actually, let me back up. So we have, not an official, but we have, we work with the homeless shelter and the Women's Transition Project to get temporary library cards. So I should change that. Yeah,
You do. but-
Yes. So, the Women's Transition Project, they come down every Friday morning and they check out so much stuff. And a lot of times it's this kind of stuff.
Yes.
And in mixed with a lot of leisure time, like movie stuff and books. And we just ask, they bring a letter from the office, and that letter says, so-and-so is staying with us, you know, until this date. And so we give them a temporary library card. We usually give 3 months, so that which is out for 3 months. So if they were to stay, they would have to do that. And then the homeless shelter or something similar. But it's nothing official, and we do choose that. But
I mean, I think it,
because what happened was, years ago, this young woman came in and she went to the library card system in the shelter and the local address. She said, "So how do I?
How do you get it in the local
Yeah, I mean, I
address,
think
right?
that's a really good question.
Well, and that is, I mean, that's the huge number, right? So if somebody is in a shelter, their identification's stolen.
Oh, yeah.
So then they're not able to get the identification. So, you know, I do a lot of work with things call and actually have attorneys that come in specifically for people to regain just their driver's license. right?
Yes. Oh, I know.
And so
Yeah.
that's like a big barrier. That's a big barrier,
Yeah.
a big thing for the library to try to solve, an important issue, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm
it
not
goes
sure.
deeper. Yeah.
It's probably something to think about, but I think it's, since you're mostly doing outreach rather than having influx, but I'm gathering, it's probably just a different places.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of homeless people?
That's a tremendous amount, but you know, once in a while,
You like, yeah, you like if it
Do you
was.
have to have, you have to have hard stuff?
Yeah.
You really have to
You litter, you can use computers.
Yeah.
That's, as long as that's not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that's,
Yeah.
put in the back of your brain to think about.
Well,
Maybe
even-
talk to the orgs and that do.
Yeah.
And say, what do you think?
Yeah.
Is it a barrier?
Yeah. I mean, they're only here, how much of it is really different, right? You don't know how long you're gonna be there. These people have a set, like their program lasts 3 months.
Right.
So that's easy, I mean, the shelf shows a little bit more, and it's like,
How about their house?
maybe not really a lot of people, but maybe, yeah, maybe we could just do a little outreach and stop by and remind people that, you know, they're wanting to use their house for purpose.
Right.
Hey, everybody.
Well, especially like Burhouse, who doesn't come here, like the WTP, they come here every week. But Burhouse,
They may be restricted. Yeah, a lot of them are.
yeah.
They need to stay.
But like an idea of like having, listen, a little bit of and what
Yeah, or like
looking
you could
into,
circulate a collection of them.
Right.
This is another way.
but it,
Your library card
it's super important. I mean,
It almost seems like you could address one area.
yeah.
So like maybe start with the women's shelter because you have a relationship
Yeah.
there. And what would you do to take the relationship from where it is to, you know, that they're more integrated into the
Yeah.
library, or if there's, you know, whatever the card situation is. And then, you know, at the same time, maybe Alice, if she's over at Fort Park,
Mhm.
right, start to gather data and information about how you might be able to interface with the, house
Yeah.
population, right?
Yeah. And it's also hard to know who's unhoused
Right.
and who's not, and I mean, it's none of our business, but like, yeah, if we knew that, we could be like, hey, here's some resources, but yeah, because
You're not a social worker, but
yeah.
like,
Our two
be
partners,
careful of mission creep.
right,
Because otherwise you're gonna, like what you're
Yeah.
talking about, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise you're gonna end up doing way too much.
Right.
and maybe what we're doing is just fine.
Right, and you want to be, of course, inclusive, but you also want to have a safe environment
Yeah,
for the wiggle and shake
Yeah.
that comes to
Yeah.
kids. And, you know, I mean, sort of,
Yeah.
we have to kind of step outside and
Yeah.
I know Phoenix, you know, and Fort Lauderdale, they have real issues. They are trying to balance those two.
That's such a
Right.
tough thing.
Yeah, really.
Well, such a bigger population
That's
too.
why I also asked if there was unhoused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Phoenix and Sun, oh my gosh.
It's
Right.
huge,
Yeah.
it's huge. And then, you know, computers used for.
Oh, sure.
Should be
Yeah.
for, and kids are.
Yeah, they don't have computers, right in town.
You're looking for, whoa, I wasn't expecting to see that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
right,
So, you could just start thinking about it.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
yeah.
mean, I like the idea of
Well-
lunch, because it's not just for the
Yeah, exactly.
unhoused or the poor people. He's trying to make that as part of a community. And I like to go there
Yeah.
and talk to different people in different ways.
Yeah.
Because, you know, besides it's a good lunch. Yes, often it's a good lunch. But also, I mean, I realized that I had a lot of false illusions about homeless.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, because this is just how our society have them down over there. So, yeah, so it's interesting.
Yeah.
Something
Oh, I know.
to discuss another later down the road.
We immensely and they put that down. I know we have unhealthy people that not all day, but they're respectful and.
Yeah, absolutely, right.
They don't know. Yeah, how you doing? And then what they do. Difference in that sense.
Okay, good. That went a lot further than we thought it would.
Well, that was great. Okay, and programming updates. I've got, so our photo mural.
Can you email that video that you showed me?
Yeah. So we are, did you see it?
I saw the web.
Okay,
I haven't walked.
so it's
amazing.
on Bisbee Road, and we have, I think there was 55 portraits, so they were all kids, and the library staff, and then some of our volunteers would be the adults, and the high school librarian. Um, and Allison's daughter Ember photographed them over the summer, and she captured such beautiful expressions.
Really nice.
Some of the kids are hilarious. Some of the kids that really don't know how to smile, and they try to fake it, and it turns into this weird grimace thing.
And they're holding up their
And they're holding up their favorite book.
And it's a video?
No, well, it's a mural, an installation over on Bisbee Road. When you're coming towards the traffic circle and you're leaving Warren and Bakerville, and you pass the Hitching Post and you pass that row of houses, and you go under this little,
It's right there?
yeah. We just put it up this morning.
Oh, good, because I go there all the time, I was gonna say, I just saw it, oh, why not?
We just did it this
So
morning.
you need to pull over, park,
And take a walk down. It's all eye level because it's the low wall.
Yeah, okay.
And it's, so this is,
So website. That's what I saw. it on.
yeah.
Oh, right, inside out.
Yeah.
And so Artemisia funded this.
Okay.
And so this artist, JR, came up with this. It's called Inside Out. And it's a global art project. So we're part of it now. And every community comes up with their action. Ours was freedom to read. So the community come up with anything. It could be diversity, or it can be equity, whatever they come up with. So yeah, if you go to their website, you can look at all the actions that have been created over the past years. And I think ours is just so timely because when you see these kids holding up these books, like it's our freedom to read, and with everything that's going on in censorship and banning books, and I was
It's just a first step.
I was looking at
Right. Censorship of the press.
but if this is, and we can inspire, and our community can help celebrate, that this is, look at this, like, we need to appreciate it, and we need to know what we have, because it's huge, If you look at, and I did include, all the censorship numbers of this year, look at how it skyrocketed. Did you see this? I mean, I'm sure you know all
Yeah, I'm
this.
gonna add a little detail too.
Okay, well you can, what is your detail?
So, it's somewhere in the 80s. 11 people
Yes.
Because they're doing mass. And I didn't see that on here. That's a significant piece. And it might be there because I just don't have my glasses, and so I've been doing this.
I don't know if it's on here, but or if they talked about, no, I don't think it is, no, it's not. They must have talked about that at the conference.
Yeah.
How about it?
I mean,
The
that's
numbers
it.
are just exploding. Look at that, 223, 2000, and 2,500.
So, also, if you're interested in this, every library, group, they also cover you like this. But over the generally speaking, most parents are like, please don't take books. But they're receptive. Should not them books. And by responsible, I mean, this is the outside village. So not concerned, but that was.
What-
I didn't email it.
Yeah.
I just emailed to do something else while we were sitting here.
What?
So maybe pull up library and email that as well while we're sitting here.
Yeah, I mean, it's out of control.
It's
It is
pretty
a-
bad. Now, the good news is, I saw a map the other day that blew my mind. And it was, number of book challenges, not book challenges, but book bannings for state. And Arizona didn't have any. California had more than Arizona, which is not surprising in certain places in California, but I was like, oh, so surprising. I'm so happy to see it. I happen to feel that pretty strongly that that's the beginning that will have no any of the legislation in Texas, Florida, and all those other.
Do we know, and it's just detailed a lot, but do we know anything
I
specific
didn't
that?
see, there was something, so they changed the process for school library purchases. That went through.
Right, and I guess, because I talked to, Disney's history librarian.
Yeah, and so
Mhm.
that is, I feel like you have to post your purchases ahead of time. They have removed that, like, you have to give the public at least 2 days.
And I read like this, so,
I'm just gonna send you their full website, if you can just send it to everybody. Jason.
Yeah.
And of course, they don't even have to, they probably haven't, but even better.
no.
Well, okay, so, but they haven't seen any legislation from Arizona, and I don't have any students in Arizona. So I haven't seen any legislation from Arizona this legislation.
Mhm.
And I suspect that it has a little bit to do with what they
Right.
there is a book review site called BookLooks that is run by the Liberty. And so there,
I'm going to write that down.
no, yeah.
Americans for freedom.
Yeah. So the reason why there's a button where people can do those max challenges and not reading the books is they're pulling it from the books. Like they can go in there and find the offensive stuff and quote unquote degree and like just throw it into the challenges without reading it. And like that site and the training that they give these people on these challenges tells you to lie.
Yeah.
It tells you flat out to say that you read the book even if you not. So it's very annoying. I hate it all. I hate it.
Are you surprised by that?
Yeah, I mean, and this thing about parent rights just blows my
Yeah.
mind. Because like A,
Well,
you
that'll
have
be-
rights, you've always had rights.
Yeah.
But also, you mean your rights for yourself. But like, you're restricting my rights as a parent.
Yeah,
We're
but,
recording, I should be careful. So speaking of all of this, thank you for bringing that to but, so speaking of all of this, have we had any county librarians run into problems? Well, some
not that I know of. I,
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
not here, although I will say I'm
Well,
staying
there's
on
not
school.
really a level because we do have. Yeah, the Disney one, but still, yeah, you know, you have that really.
no, nothing from the county, nothing from Sarasota, and Sarasota, their library has a wonderful collection of all kinds of things. You know, I think it's great they're making a pledge up to the community. But I know everyone is
Anyone?
on edge and they're waiting for it, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, not to really.
Yeah, right. Right there,
Yeah. So, lots of space. Really,
which is bad, you know.
it is insane. And I have to tell you, looking at this top 10 list.
Yeah.
Genderqueer is amazing. The Bluest Eye is phenomenal. Looking for Alaska has one of my favorite ones. The perks of being a wallflower is, and partially because it's super realistic and hilarious. The perks of being a wallflower is also fabulous and wonderful. The Shermalesi may have some tooth problems, but the absolute true diary of the Pregnant Indian is amazing.
Agreed.
And I have an act in my life who says that Frank is probably one of the best descriptions of her experience that she's ever read, and she's clean.
Mhm.
So this just is heartbreaking. All of it.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I've heard you can do civil walking there. I have some places like that.
And you notice that most of them are.
Oh, they're all, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're all geared towards teens.
Except for when we're talking about challenging growth, teens almost like children. We're talking about they behave when they're
And this, they don't have a problem with internet or anything you can access on your phone.
Okay, so that's another story altogether. There's a group called Pornography is Not Education, and their goal is to censor the database. Because, yeah, because, well, it's difficult. They say that there's pornography on it. It's true that it wants to go over it. States are censoring databases. What is being censored on those databases is unclear, but I will tell you that the stop word list looks like something out of like.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like that. Those are databases that are mostly directed for like your database. Like there's the middle grade.
Well, but we got all those Gale in context.
Don't even get me started on.
But,
Gail's the one who has stop
uh,
So, but your Gale in context, if it's geared towards adults, it's going to be
but it's geared towards more high school.
If it's Gale in context for high school and middle school or elementary school, it's being filtered. You just don't.
Okay.
Because they don't tell you that. You have to be a search expert. Like I didn't.
Right, how would you know, yeah, if it's not there, how would
Somebody
you know
who is
that it's not
like-
there?
Yeah.
You have to.
Unless you're looking for
Get
it.
some
Right.
So it's ironic that they're going after all of these materials that have quality vetted information in them, like books that have been read by somebody else. When you're right. Get on TikTok on day.
I was thinking about social media, I mean, that's where all the
Well-
horrible stuff is.
Yeah, exactly. Self-issue.
COSA is supposed to address that, but it didn't. COSA is the federal law that it will allow to suppress. Yes, and it should be taken also. I learned so much through that.
That's just cool.
I learned so much. It was such
Yeah.
so hard for me to wrap my head around. And I read this book and I was like,
Yeah, and Jeff and I had talked about it, I just ended last week.
Because again, I had a jump over it. And so it really just,
isn't
it
it?
is much easier trying to wrap my head.
It blew me away.
Yeah.
Which is why I read it.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I'm gonna go through the rest pretty quickly. We are making a brat for the Bratz Parade. I say we, it's really Gretchen and Allison and the Urban Art Studio team. But we're going down Main Street on Saturday,
I'll be there.
uh,
Part of the Bratz with the.
October 28th. Donna, are you gonna be down for that weekend?
I know, I'm missing it too, I'm so sad.
Oh, so it's a paper mache open book, and Gretchen will write it, and Sarah Curtis is making a worm costume. She's gonna be a bookworm.
Oh, that's great. Coming out of the break like that in the middle. It's gonna win the prize.
Is there a prize?
I think there's, yes, there are prizes. There are, funky little trophies.
Yeah. It's been fun. So they've been working on it during open art, and they've got some kids coming this weekend.
That's great.
It's pretty cool. I've always wanted to be a part of that. I think it's so fun. Have you been to any of them? Okay.
Yeah.
That was cool. And then just on the back, so our Bill Meade mural down in the elevator entrance.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that needed something. It's a lot of stimuli when you walk.
It made it pretty
A
hard.
little, yeah. Yeah, I even put
It
the
needs more light.
I did, I put more lights up there.
Because it's dark.
Yeah. But it's such a, I just think of kids that, that's their first, going to the library, part of making that mural, and yeah, it's really cool. Okay, so the building, I'm trying to get gutters. The city, we did this, replaced our roof and did all this great work and took the gutters down and everything back up. So it's a problem. So we're working on that, and structural engineers are going to be looking at the cracking finally and on the balconies, so we can look at addressing that. And then the HVAC system that they said would be put in July is now pushed to December or January. I
Just when you go.
wow, I was like this was 2 years ago. I'm like, oh, awesome! Like we'll have this for summertime.
Here, you didn't say it.
So that it'll happen, and
That is the pools. Yeah, well, but the gutters, that's really tough.
The gutters is a real problem.
That's a real
Well-
tough,
Especially
about the gutters.
it just comes off the back, and we noticed it because whenever we had that really heavy rain after the monsoon,
Yes, yeah.
it comes off the roof, and it's because that back is so porous, it's coming in, it's coming through, and ruining some of our plaster, so
Wow.
it's an issue.
We might want to talk to Josh.
Well, I've been working with Logan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, I mean, he says he's gonna do something. I remember Logan from the pool, and we got very excited at first. And
but I'm
then
calling with
realized,
other people.
and then realized Logan knows. And nothing ever happens. Anyway, that's good, you do it.
Yeah.
Good.
We had such great interest in the last copper cards.
Yeah.
So Allison's designed a new copper card that the annex is going to be 5 years old, or it is 5 years old. And so we're coming out with a limited edition,
For kids.
and another one for kids. That's a separate one, yeah. And then we got. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but it come up the front stairs.
Yes, I was asking about that.
Yeah, it's not working yet, but we had to work with our IT. But it's an old flip, like the old rail stations that had, it could,
Yeah.
and it would change over and give you the good time for the
I'll
other.
be easy on that.
Yeah, I worked with Sloan to get
Okay.
one. And so you can subscribe. So it's going to be literary quotes that will change every once in a while. And that sound, I want to get like people walking by Main Street, like, what is that? And then they'll come up and they'll come to the library. It's just some kind of fun. And we can put our library programs on there, so we can do a bunch of different things. It's just kind of a fun little, interactive, kind of, you can sit there and watch
So it's
it.
at the top of the stairs?
As you come, it's out, yeah, as you come up the front stairs, it's just right up top there. It's not working yet on, what's the Monday, our IT guy is supposed to set it up on Wednesday, so hopefully that. And then quick future projects, so Charles Bethay, our local historian, is really writing a historical. Yeah, and he wants to do interviews, youth for quite some time.
Up on the third floor.
She didn't like your face?
We've come a long way, baby.
Especially men with long hair.
She didn't like, she was a Phelps Dodge employee, this is when the library was under Phelps Dodge. And so there were different, but when you talk to a lot of the old timers, especially the men, Jim Miller, he always, you know, all the hippies, she did not like what
No,
was
she
happening
hated
to them.
them.
And she would not give you a library card. And you had to have how many references?
Oh. And again, if she didn't like the reference, then that.
Oh.
Out too.
And then she would, I guess she would not trust you to carry your own library card, so she kept a lot of them here
Yes.
on the floor.
And you can only get, however, you might be able to get 4 books, and you only get 1.
Oh my God, she
So
sounds
you had to get
absolutely
returned that book.
messy
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it was much smaller, because, I mean, this was.
So then in 1976, the mine gave the library a bunch of things to the city, so officially. So she had to work then with the city. You know, I don't know if she.
Did she retire
That was
soon thereafter?
No. She got here in 78, she was still doing
Yeah.
with her library.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, if you even spoke up, then you might as well forget ever getting a library card.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that's gonna be a delicate, you
I
know,
still have my original.
with the metal slip.
Yeah.
We're working with Ed Roscoe. Possibly we're going to come up with some kind of. The firm's going to do a memorial for Mary Jane Bank, who was on the firm's board and who passed away a couple of years ago. And people donated money for the memorial. So we want to come up with some kind of interactive art thing that we could put in front of the annex in the garden out front. We don't quite know what that is yet, but we got creative money.
Yeah, okay.
And then I want to make a recording studio in a digital lab here. And the only way that I'm going to be able to do that is we have a old bathroom that's in the room at the top of the stairs in our tea room that I'm using for storage now. And when the new HVAC comes, I have 2 closets that would become available for storage because they're going to remove the heaters. It's all going to be up on the roof. So I can use those for storage, and we can use that room, which is not very big, but we don't need a lot of space, but we can create a little recording studio so people can come and make podcasts. That was another program I went to at the conference. And whatever, we can have a green screen in the back. You can, if people need to Zoom, they don't have a place to Zoom, they can reserve that space to do that. And we could even get equipment to some of our old things like VHS tapes. We can put it to digital files, stuff like that. This is all very new and live, so. But I think it'd be really cool. And obviously we would have to work with get it right. Really, even at the conference, it doesn't, all that stuff, it's not like the radio station boards, it's more a computer software, you get a computer software. That's good. But
I think that's a good success rate, so.
yeah, I think it'd be really good. And that, my friend, is
That's all I need.
yeah. So Cinda,
Okay, let's see. Yeah, so excited. All right. So, anybody have any questions about anything that we discussed before we adjourn? All right. So that covers both item E, other, and also for the order. And with that,
They will figure that out.
actually, there's a pretty good description.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, right. Well, I won't talk about that, but, so if there are no objections, I think we can adjourn at 6:46.
Love it. Thank you all.
Yes,
Right.
thank you.
Good work, people.
Excellent work.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you as
Oh.
always.